So a brief recap while we are settling in our meditation position. So take a moment to sit comfortably, so cross-legged. Don't forget to use a cushion or a blanket if you need to use those props in order to make yourself more comfortable. And adjust something in your seat so you can really sit nice and tall with the shoulders rolling back, chest open, and the chin parallel to the floor, so the head is just on top of your spine. So to recall what we have learned so far about resilience, resilience is a skill that can be learned, and we learn the skill to notice where we are out of balance and what is happening in our body through the breath. So we practice different types of breath, starting from a simple exercise of observing the breath and then going all the way to do box breathing that we've done yesterday. So today we are gonna take it one step further, and it's a step towards relaxation and letting go. And we're gonna practice a new type of breathing, and it's a breathing when we inhale for a certain number of counts, let's say 4 counts, and we exhale for a larger number of counts. So I propose we can start with our meditation and pranayama exercise by closing the eyes if you're comfortable, or casting your gaze down so you don't look at anything in particular and you're not focused in your looking. And we're gonna take a couple of breaths, inhaling through the nose and letting go through the mouth. And as always, I invite you to add a sound or visualization to your exhale, so you can really inhale energy, bright light, and exhale tension, discomfort, anything physical or mental residue in your body or in your mind that you want to get rid of. And last time, exhaling through the mouth. And then we close our eyes if they are still open, and we return to our normal breath for a few rounds, allowing your breath to settle. And then we start with our breathing exercise, when we're gonna inhale for 4 counts and we're gonna exhale for 8 counts. So this is a comfortable pace for me, and it may be that it's not very comfortable for you. So the idea is not that you're struggling with your breath. So if you need to inhale for, let's say, 3 counts and exhale for 6, or if you inhale for 4 and you exhale for 6 counts, as long as your exhales are longer than inhales, everything will do. So settling in your breath, and we start from now on. You're gonna inhale, 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 and exhale, 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 and inhale, 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 and exhale, 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 exhale. And I leave you with a count so that you can count on your own. And remember, you continue breathing through your nose only, and your exhales are longer than your inhales. And if you can keep the ratio 1 to 2, then it's fine. If you need shorter exhales, as long as your breath is not strained and forced in any manner, everything will be fine. take a couple of more rounds of this relaxing and calming breath. So the effect of this breath is that your blood pressure drops and your body and your mind slows down and starts relaxing. And your parasympathetic nervous system, the nervous system that is responsible to trigger your rest and digest mechanism in your body, is switched on. So we are using the breath to tune up to the sense of relaxation and rest. So let go of this controlled breath. Take a couple of normal breaths in and out in your natural pace. And as you do this, keeping the eyes closed, please set an intention for this practice, for this session. And it can be the same intention you formulated previous days. So remember, the intention is a desire that comes from your heart, something that you want to be more present in your life, and you formulate this intention in the present tense in simple words. I'm healthy, I'm resilient, I have energy, I have vibrant health, or anything else that is really important in your life. And then we open our eyes and we are ready to move in our slower and relaxing practice today. So those of you who practiced with me before, you know that there are different types of yoga. So we turn on our backs, and I invite you to use some props for our next pose. So if you don't have props, no worries, I'm gonna show you the variations, but if you have a blanket close by, you're gonna make a roll out of the blanket, and people without the blanket, don't worry, I will give a variation in a second. We all sit on our buttocks anyway, and we put our feet together, so the sides of the feet are touching, the heels are touching, and the legs, if you look in between your legs, they look like in a diamond shape. So people with that have blankets, we're gonna place the side of the roll that we made, and the roll should be straight on the mat and touching the sacrum. We're gonna slowly recline and position our entire back on the roll. So our entire back on the roll, and our head is on the roll. If the head is hanging, so your blanket is too short, that's fine if your neck is not complaining. So people without the roll, you do the same, but without the roll. And if you want to take one step further in order to open the front of the chest and have approximately the same benefit as people on the roll, you're gonna just bring your arms behind the back, placing both palms somewhere in between your shoulder blades, and you just lie down there. So that you have a slight opening in your chest area. It is more intense variation of the pose than the position on the roll, or just without the roll with the legs in butterfly. So choose your option. The most relaxing would be the position when your spine and the entire the neck and the head is on the roll and the arms are spread, so palms facing up, and you start relaxing in the area of your groins, allowing your knees to become heavy. You use gravity to let go. So the nature of yin poses and yin yoga as a yoga type of yoga practice is that we are actually doing much less than we do in active yoga practices like Hatha yoga, what we practiced throughout the week. Most of our poses were Hatha yoga poses. So in Hatha yoga we use muscle strength and muscles to come into the pose and maintain the poses. In yoga we hardly use the muscles. So our goal in yin yoga is fully relax in the pose and allow the weight of the body, the gravity, to take our body where it can be taken right now, so creating mobility in the joints. We are working also in yin yoga on different type of tissues. They're called connective tissues, and those are different type of tissues, different from muscle tissues. they're quite elastic, so they require a different type of impact in order to be revitalized and re-energized. That impact is delivered by Yin Yoga, which is a slow-paced yoga. So we have poses sometimes for 5 or 10 minutes. That's not the case today. We don't have so much time. But for example, this pose is very relaxing just before going to bed, and gives you a supported back bend. It relaxes your shoulders, and it creates space in your hip joints. So you are going back to sleep with your body kind of adjusted after the day of sitting or standing, the case may be. So, and you can do theoretically this pose without the blanket, just in your bed when you lie down. A few minutes before going to sleep, you can put your feet together in this butterfly position and relax. And it's a very nice, very supportive back bend variation. So your entire chest is being slightly opened in this position. You can use your breath to feel any area in your spine which is tight. So Yin Yoga is supporting us in our practice of building resilience skill by offering us opportunity to practice letting go and relaxing, and while we are passively resting in the pose, there are many opportunities to use this time in the pose, not just relaxing, but also letting go of our thoughts or our judgment about how we feel right now. Just letting our body be where it is at this moment, and practice simple observation, sending the breath to the places where it feels maybe less comfortable, where it feels tight. There's no judgment, no expectation. And every time you think about something or the thoughts come, gently draw your attention to those areas in your body where you can release something. Maybe for many of us, letting go of the tension in our face is the most challenging area. So from time to time, check if your jaw is relaxed, that your mouth is relaxed, that even inside of the mouth you're not doing anything funky with your tongue, you're not clutching your teeth, you allow your lips to be softly closed, so no frowning anywhere in your face. You have this sensation of the body melting towards the ground. So depending where you are in this pose, we're going to take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And if you align on your hands behind the back, then you're going to first bring your knees up, place the feet on the ground, and you're going to release the arms. And if you align like me on the back, on the blanket or without the blanket, we're going to first bring the knees up. And people on the blanket, we're going to roll a little bit towards the right side so we can release the blanket. And then we're going to extend the legs for a moment, just sensing what this pose does to our spine, how we feel while our spine now in completely neutral position. And this pose actually helps us also to restore natural healthy curves in our spine. So take a few breaths here. And I would like to continue with inversion, and it's a mild inversion. There are a number of variations there. So take it slowly, don't rush into the next stage if you feel that the previous stage is appropriate. So if you have a blanket, if you were using the roll, that may be helpful. If you have a cushion, that could be helpful too. So I'm going to use the blanket because probably that's what most of the people is likely to have. So I'm going to place it under my sacrum, So that's a bony part just above our buttocks. And we're gonna roll so that we can feel supported just under with a blanket, or you can use a cushion. That's if it's a firm cushion or a bit firmer thing. Let's set two cushions on top of each other. And then we're gonna bring our legs up. So adjust anything, your blanket underneath, so you can kind of feel that your back is supported, and you can relax the upper body. And we bring the legs up, and then we're gonna open our legs and allow gravity to take its toll. So we can help with our arms. Maybe we can hold somewhere around our knees, and slowly allow our legs to open a bit more. So we are not gonna stay here too long. So the few other next stages are when we're gonna try to bring the legs behind the back, behind the head. And if you know that you have a high blood pressure or other condition, and your neck is very, very stiff, so take it easy, and maybe you would skip that variation. So just staying with the legs together. You can bend your knees slightly, so you can just have a benefit of the blood, the venous blood coming to the heart and being oxygenated there. So the next stage is start bringing our toes behind the back, and then your buttocks probably will lift off the blanket or the roll, and you can hang there. You can open your knees. And in my case, I can place my feet on the ground. If your feet are not on the ground, you may wish to hold your hips or behind the back so you can support yourself. And you can hang there in this position anywhere your body can end up with. And for those people who are a bit more flexible, maybe, you can stay here if it's comfortable. So you don't rotate your neck, you just look in between your legs towards the ceiling. Don't move your head. It should be completely straight, neck here, so no movement of the head side to side. And then people who are a bit more flexible can bend the knees and maybe go all the way with the arms around the knees, resting there. So if it's too much, if you feel strain anywhere, just take one of the positions that are leading to that final expression of the pose, and just being with the legs up and opening them and bringing the legs together would be also fine. So what we are doing is an inversion that allows a deep relaxation and also brings energy and alignment to our pelvis, to our hips. A very healthy pose to do at the end of the day. And in a moment I will show you one of the variations that we can use for final relaxation in case you are very close to the wall. So you can do this pose also at the wall and use it as a final relaxation. So in a moment, wherever you are in the pose, we're gonna all bring the legs up, and then bending the knees, we're gonna place the feet on the ground, and we're gonna remove the blanket away. So we are ready to move into our final relaxation. If you have a wall which is free of things, at least at the level of, let's say, 1 meter something, then please follow my instruction. And if you are not very close to the wall and you can't use the wall, then you're gonna lie down in Shavasana. So this is absolutely fine. So find a new position in Shavasana for final relaxation. And people who would like to try this pose and have the wall available for this exercise, we're gonna come very close to the wall. So our left hip is very close to the wall. There is maybe a few centimeters distance. And then we're gonna lie down, and then we bring the knees up, and then swing to bring our legs up. So you can move a little bit to adjust the position of your arms. So the legs are at the wall, and if you need to slide maybe a little bit away from the wall. So in principle there is there is little tension anywhere, so there should be complete relaxation. You shouldn't feel anything in your hamstrings, and if you feel something at the back of your legs, maybe slight bend in the knees would really help. Your feet are relaxed. And that's the pose which is called Viparita Karani. So, and it's a fancy name for legs up the wall pose, and it's very in, it's very alive, and it's the very essence of letting go is in this pose. So we allow the gravity to draw us down, our legs are relaxed, and we continue settling down and relaxing everything by briefly scanning our entire body. And I'm gonna lead you through 61 point relaxation, so whether you are with your legs up the wall or in Shavasana, I'm gonna briefly go through 61 specific points of the body, and all you need to do is follow my path, as I call the part of the body. And for a very brief moment, you bring your attention to each point, as I call it. And so we start with the area in between the eyebrows, base of your neck, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, base of your neck, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, left wrist, left knee, left hip, left shoulder, the base of your neck, middle of your chest, your right chest, middle of the chest, heart area, the left side of the chest, your heart area, your belly button, your lower abdomen, your right hip, your right knee, your right ankle, your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky, right ankle, right knee, right hip, your lower abdomen, left hip, left knee, left ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, left knee, left hip, lower abdomen, and belly button, middle of the chest, base of the neck, and your third eye area, the eyebrows area. After a few breaths, you let go of any specific attention, allowing our breath to be where it wants to be. And if you are, like me, against the wall, you're gonna just gently bend the knees, placing the feet on the wall, and then roll towards our right side. And people in Shavasana, you can stretch yourself as we usually do, maybe stretching your arms over the head and flexing and pointing the toes, moving the head side to side, and then also finding your way towards your right or left side. And we're all gonna stay here for a few breaths. And when we're ready, we're gonna press ourselves back to sitting position, returning to the most comfortable position for our final closing breath So we're gonna feel the shoulders dropping down, arms relaxed, and we close the eyes, connecting to our breath again, feeling how it rocks our body. And we allow our intention that we set at the beginning of the practice come to our mind, and we will repeat that intention 3 times, allowing our mind to be even more focused on those things that are important, most important in our life.